Can you hear me well?
Clearly, I can hear you loud and clear. Good to have you,
Beautiful.
sir.
It's good. Thank you. It's good to
Yeah. So everybody joining us, don't forget to invite your friends, invite everyone. This is going to be very, very educative. And we have the doctor himself live and direct with us. So, sir, thank you so much again for this privilege. Thank you so much. I want you to tell us about investment and building wealth generally. You know,
yeah.
I have a lot of young people that are watching, young musicians. Also, I have old people. We have people across all walks of life on this program, Instagram Live. You know, they would like to know about wealth creation, wealth multiplication, and investments generally. You know, and we know that you're a doctor in this and you're a professional and you've done things across the world in this field. So, sir, over to you, sir.
Okay. First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's good to be here. I look forward to taking your questions on investment. But basically, generally, when we say investment, we're saying that a vehicle that you put your money into that is able to help you make money without having to work for it. So we have something called active income. We have something called passive income. So as a minister, a music minister, or an artist, whichever one you call yourself, DJ Sax, and what we call active income. As for me, as an author, as a speaker, what I earn is called active income. Now, the rule has said both me and a salary earner were actually at the same category. And this has been a lie that has been going on for long, because you see people say, I'm self-employed. You know, I have my own business. Thinking that that's actually where financial freedom lies is a lie. This is the reason why you see football artists who used to earn £150,000 a week. In fact, there was an Arsenal player that became homeless, I think last year or 2 years ago, who used to earn £150,000 because that was active income. And the rule is no matter how much you earn from active income, you can never be financially free because you still need to keep working till you die. Right? It's when
sorry to cut you short. So that category falls into people like us and a lot of people listening, where we have to perform. If we don't show, if they don't see our face, we can't make
exactly.
Money. So a lot of them are here watching. So okay, sir.
Exactly. So, and this is where a lot of entertainers have made mistakes. I mean, if you look at Nollywood, for example, you see many of the aged artists having to say, oh, they are sick, let's contribute money. And you will say, when they were younger and they were earning money, where did the money go? Now, what happened was that they did not put that money into source of passive income. So when you earn active income, you have to put that money into a source of passive income. So I started, for example, one of the things I did earlier was a speaker. I used to organize conference, used to organize trade fairs, used to sell popcorn. I had a lot of things that were generating active income, even though I could call myself a businessman, but I was actually self-employed, because once your business does not have a system that with or without you, the business generates revenue, you are still self-employed. It's not even, if you like, even have plenty staff. As long as without you, right, the income.
This is very, 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 very profound, sir.
Yes. So as long as without you, the revenue is limited, you see self-employed, right? And the rule is employee and self-employed can never be rich because they will have to work till they die. The other alternative is business owners and investors. Now, business owners, many of us call ourselves business owners. I'm BJ Sachs. I have BJ Sachs Entertainment Limited. So I'm a business owner. No. you are self-employed. You are only a business owner when, like MTN, with or without your input, money comes in. Like Globacom, with or without your input. Like Nestle. Okay, can you say the founder of Nestle need to be involved in Nestle, or even the CEO? With or without them, Nestle is bringing money, right? So that is when you say a business. So it's called a business with a system. Then the fourth one is now investment. So what is my advice to every one of us who fall under the category of employee or self-employed, so-called business owners? Begin to put a portion of your income into what? Into an investment that is a source of passive income. And that is how to become financially free. Now, if I had not, when I was doing all this speaking, writing books and all that, not putting some of my money to real estate, both personal and companies, you know, in terms of as a business, we will not be here. We will not be able to be in a position to sponsor DJ Live concert. I will not have offices in US, in UK, in Dubai, and all that we've done today. We will not, because those things were possible because I put an active income into a vehicle of passive income. So today, even if I stop working, some of my real estate assets are able to generate cash that sustain my livelihood for me and my family. I even brag this with my staff sometimes. I say, look, even if GTS fall today, I won't feel it. So you better do your job for your own sake. So because that this company crash, it does not affect my own personal income, right? I've built passive income that guarantee I'm going to be financially free to the rest of my life, and even that of my children.
Wow. Okay, I have a lot of questions. You can also ask some of your questions. We'll try to take some, as much as we can take, and as much as doctor's time can permit. You understand? So we're talking about investments. A lot of people will buy land in the village and they call it investment. Of course, it's investments too. You know, a lot of people would build luxurious mansions and live in it. You know, and they still call that investments too. I want you to please tell us about properties. And I know a lot of people just joined us. We have Dr. Stephen Akintayo. He's an author, a public speaker. I don't know. I will have read his profile before I started, but you know, a lot of us. But more than that, we want to learn from him. We want to learn from his wealth of experience. So my question is, buying land in the village and building mansion in the village, you know, what kind of investments can one do, you know, to skyrocket one to unending wealth?
Thank you very much. Very good question. So first of all, the investment that I recommend is called land banking. Land banking is the process of land banking. Banking land. Okay? Just like when you bank money, what you do, you deposit into your account, you withdraw, is money banking, right? Or cash banking. You can do the same for land. Land banking is the process of aggregating land for the purpose of development or investment. So the process of you buying land for future sales, maybe you're buying it so that in future when it has appreciated, you sell it and make money. That's called land banking. And now, many people then do that, but they do it in the village, like you said, and it's wrong. Because except your village is Lagos, you know, some people's village is Saleko, some people's village is Bejileki, some people's village is Ikorodu. So except your village is in Lagos and its environs, or your village is in Abuja. So according to Goldman Sachs, Lagos is #1 return on investment when it comes to real estate. Abuja is number 2 in the whole of Africa. Port Harcourt is number 3, as well as I think Johannesburg. Port Harcourt and one city in South Africa are number 3 place to get the highest return, according to Goldman Sachs. So this is not even a Nigerian research. This is a US biggest investment bank in the world. So when you understand this, then you know that going to my village, in fact, there was somebody chatting me on TikTok today. I was like, don't you have land in Enugu? I said, well, we'll soon get to Enugu. However, let me warn you, this land banking thing is not a thing of I'm doing it in my village or I'm doing in my own village. I still don't have a plot of land. Yet we have over 10,000. Eh?
Where's your village, sir?
My village is I'm an Egba man, so my village is somewhere in Ifo. We Egba, we have like Abule in Abeokuta. We still have some our farm, which is now called.
My Olabisi Onabanjo campus was in Ifo. I studied engineering, so we had a campus.
Oh, beautiful!
In
No wonder I saw a lot of also at your concert, and many of them were greeting a lot.
My sister used to attend Winners in Agowe, and she knows you very well.
Really?
Yeah,
wow!
So that's the story for another time.
Wow!
And I was also in Agowe for a while. I'm also from Agowe, actually. Indigenous of Ijebu Agowe, yes. So
wow.
So that's a story for another day.
Wow. Wow, amazing. It's a small world. Because I remember I just saw a lot of I some I couldn't even remember their face. I was like, they knew me back in the day. I was just greeting and fantastic. I mean, it's a small world. But yeah, I mean, like we're saying, I don't even have a plot in my village. Because, and it doesn't mean I won't have. Maybe one day I'll build one big mansion. Why not? But at the beginning of your investment journey, you should not try to please people, right? You're trying to build something real. Like I often say, poor people try to buy what they don't need to impress people that don't care. And you don't want to do that because that's the express route to poverty. Do not buy what you don't need to impress people that don't care. At the beginning of building wealth, buying land in your village is some form of trying to impress people in your village, and they don't care. So try to invest where it will appreciate. So if you buy land in Lagos, you buy land in Abuja, you buy land in Port Harcourt, you have a higher chance of what we call capital appreciation, and you can turn it into massive wealth. So let me give you a few examples of those who have done, and I'll give myself, since we're Christians and we know the church setting. Pastor Paul Adefarasin's biological father bought a place in Akintayo for 2,000 naira. 2,000 pounds, right? Over 50 years ago. Okay? And that place, in those days, some companies came because the man was his retirement money, so he didn't even have money to develop it. But a company approached him and said, let's do JV. We'll build a good house on it. We'll take the rent for 10 years. After that, we will have recuperate our money and we'll return the property back to you. And that was what they did. Guess what? Pastor Paul schooled abroad, courtesy that house. Because it was the rent from that house that his father used to send him to school abroad. Now, 50 years later, when the father was long dead, that property was sold for almost $5 million.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Now, of course, which is also the power I keep telling people about. If you're an investor, you hand it over to your children because it's practical. They could see it. It's something they could touch. So he himself did the same for House on the Rock. Where House on the Rock is now was bought years ago for 25 million, almost 10 acres, left for 10 years, and 10 years before they started the construction, they went to value the land. What they bought for 25 million was valued at 3 billion.
Wow. And I can't imagine what is going to be valued as of now that we're speaking now.
As of now, exactly. So I did the same. Knowing all of this, I bought some places for 750,000, bought You know, of course, I was paying small. Some places I bought 50 acres, some places I bought 100 acres. Some of those land I bought for 750,000 are going for 10 million today. Some are going for 15 million today. You can multiply it by 6, multiply it by 50, multiply it by 6, multiply it by 100. So,
Wow, that's serious, sir. Okay,
yes.
so for the younger people here that, you know, probably don't make so much, maybe they make, maybe, or they don't have so much to invest. I'm saying people that maybe they have maybe 1 million or 2 million, 3 million, you know, and so on and so forth. Where do you advise them to invest? Also, land banking or banking generally, investment takes a lot of patience. Some of us, especially our generation, we don't have patience. Once we buy land today like this, we want it to double. You know how a lot of people do Ponzi scheme. We want them to double immediately. We like want to sell it next year like 10 times. The figures. You understand? So what advice do you have for people that have small money to invest? You know, when I mean small money, say 2 million, 3 million, people that don't have 20 million, 30 million now. Also, what do you advise them in terms of waiting period? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You know how we are. A lot of people are saying that, oh, I don't even know what I'm going to eat tomorrow. And you are telling me to put some money somewhere and leave it for 10 years. You know? So, what do you have to say to such people?
Beautiful question. I love your question. They're fantastic. No, number one is to say, there are two categories. If you don't even have anything to eat now, well, I have one advice for you. Go and learn how to sell. You see, two P's you cannot afford to have in your life: poverty and pride. I see a lot of young people telling me that to see me, I'm ashamed, I cannot sell. That's pride. In fact, I call it poverty of pride of the poor.
Wow.
Right? You cannot be broke and be ashamed to sell. It doesn't work that way. Right? As much as, for example, I love your music, I love what you do. If you didn't come to our office and say, money concert to ever sponsor, right? There's no way we will know that we could sponsor your event and all of that. So if many of us are ashamed, and it's pride of the poor, and that's why we remain poor. So exactly, go and learn how to sell. Go and meet a company to sell for them. I started this real estate journey not by buying land. I started by selling for other real estate companies. I was getting commission, 10% on land, 5% on house. And it became a passive income that gradually, you know, I saved enough to go and start buying. If I say to a lot of your colleagues who are into entertainment, that you guys know people that matter. You know a lot of people, they love you, they trust you, right? It's just to partner with a credible organization and say, hey, I'm going to, you know, it's not even like selling. This is what I do. If I want to sell for a company, I'll go and buy. So, for example, I'm PJ Sachs. Okay, which property does GTS have? I will buy a plot. And I'll start reaching out to my high net worth people and say, I just bought one plot from one company, GTS, so they even sponsor a fantastic company. I don't know whether you'd be interested because I love the way they treated me. And I will send this evidence that I paid. I will have linked with one of the company staff who will be my partner because I don't know their product. I can't be doing the marketing. All I'm doing is referring. And this is very important. The secret of rich people is recommendation, is referral. That's where they make their biggest money from. It's not necessary. Most of the product, they don't own it. If I tell you how much money Dangote friends make from just the relationship, because they have certain info of, Dangote needed, for example, when Dangote was building the refinery, the guy that got the HR job to bring all the expatriates is a multi-billionaire today. But guess what? He was somebody who referred him to Dangote. Referral. And that person who referred, guess what? You think he will collect billions and not say, uncle, thank you for introducing me to Aliko. So, which is how the rich keep getting richer. They don't get rich by necessarily just their own product or their business. They connect, they refer, they link, they build, and that just keeps opening more doors, right? As long as you're dealing with reputable organizations. So don't tell me you're broke. Don't tell me you don't have money. Start referring. Start looking for who. Instead of going to beg your uncle, give me $500, give me $200, refer him to a product that he needs and make sure it's a credible organization, not your greed overriding, referring him to something not legit because you just want to get a commission. No, make sure it's something legit, because what you earn in commission or in referral fee is far more than that $200, more than that $500. Now, for those of you who now say, oh, all I have is 2 million, it's 5 million, it's 3 million. You see, humility is also really important in investment. I never got to buy Ibejuleke as my first plot. In fact, my first set of properties did not have C of O. Right? It was in fact, the day they took me to the first set of property I bought commercially, 50 acre, they were pointing 2 kilometers away. Say, you see that tree? 2 kilometers away. I say, yes. Say, your land will start from there.
I'm sure like,
and
how do I get into this place?
And it was all water. It was waterlogged. So to even, I remember bringing my friend who is into real estate. He said, so Dr. Steve, you see, it's rich people that do water area. My advice, don't try them. I brought my brother too. Now I said, everybody discouraged me. But this was they were the only one allowing me to pay as gradually. The other ones were asking me for big money, big money. I don't have the money. And this is the secret, and everybody should write it down. When God is ready to bless you, you must be willing to do the impossible with the available. Let me say this again. When God is ready to bless you, your own part of that deal is being willing to do the impossible with the available. And if you check all through the scriptures, God never gave anybody what they want, not even Jacob. Jacob has served his in-law and they've cheated him. And even when they were now to say, okay, we will pay you, it was to be giving him the striped ones that were not many. But guess what? His willingness to do the impossible with the available, God showed up. And we know the end of the story. Yes. The same thing with Abraham. Yes, you want to say something?
I wanted to say and emphasize on that be willing to do the impossible with what is available. So no matter what is available, no matter how small or how big it is, what you have in your hands, what is available, be willing to do the impossible with that little that you have. That little that you think is nothing, some people have used that to create generational wealth.
Exactly.
Thank you very much,
so,
sir.
Yeah, so instead of saying, Ibejuleke is where I want to buy, your 2 million naira can cover money here. Go and buy it. Right? The only thing is make sure you have mentorship, you have advice, you have support. So, for example, we're launching one of our estates in Ibadan, Monia. Why are we doing that? Monia, has the train station in Ibadan. They are doing the business district, just what you have in Bodija. What's it called? The main city center of Ibadan now. They are repeating it in Monia. So, what's the wisdom? If you are going to wait till when all those things are there, you pay higher, you pay premium. Now is the time to go and buy it when the project is ongoing. So right now, you can see with 2 million, you still buy in that area. And that's why I say mentorship, because so you don't go and buy one area in Ibadan that there's no development, there's no project, there's nothing that will make it go. Yeah, so there's a need for mentorship so that you know the areas you are buying that have potential to grow. Those who understood this and started buying around redemption camp, they know what they are making now. Shimawa, but they targeted Redeem, they targeted the universities coming up. So in land banking, it's not just go and buy any land. There are strategies around it, and I've done several videos as well on YouTube. You can go watch it. I can join my coaching program as well. But there's a lot of material that guides you on which right land package you do, not just to go and throw money away. But if you are open to that, you see that you can buy in some other, suburbs or closer to Lagos or areas with certain unique projects that have potential to appreciate. But do not wait till you have money for Lekki, which is the mistake young people are doing. Guess what? The Lekki they used to shout about now, the world has moved. Who wants to live in Lekki anymore? In fact, I was telling somebody, I said, if you understand how land banking works, 50 years from now, Lekki will be the new Mushi, will be the new Bariga, will be the new, and some of them are saying, what are you talking about? I said, okay, let me break down the story of Lagos. In fact, Pastor Matthew was sharing this some days ago. He said they begged him to come and Okpebi was 1,000 naira.
Wow.
Agege were 500 naira. Yeah, wow. This is over 40 years ago. Yes.
Wow. 1,000 naira. 1,000
naira Okpebi. And what people didn't even know was that 10 years before that time, Pastor Matthew was talking about, to go to Okpebi, you have to run because it's a ritual. It's the same way they say Igbo Rumole. That was like the Igbo Rumole of Lagos. The same Okpebi,
Wow.
Right? That's why the airport is in Ikeja. They don't situate airport in city. It was development that catch up with the airport you see in Lagos today. If I met one Baba is over, it should be close to 90. He said they gave him Surulere, 6 acres. He said, "Allah match." So I said, Baba, what was this city of Lagos there? He said, then, if you talk about Bariga, if you talk about Saleko, if you talk about Mushin, Ajegule, that was the city of Lagos. So, Surulere was Bush. So he was telling them, I was educated in England. I'm thinking, you now want to give me Surulere. He said today now he regrets it. Because, can you say that about
because Surulere now, you can't even get anything there. You have to buy a house.
Yeah. So the same Lekki you are shouting is big city, big Kiniko. Very soon, the houses will be old. People will have moved to, and you can see a lot of criminality is coming to that area now. And we know what happened recently. And so the wealthy will keep moving to a new place, quiet, calm. And before you say Jack Robinson, the so-called almighty Lekki that you were saying until I have money for Lekki. Meanwhile, guess what? The place you rejected, like Baba that rejected Surulere, will now be the main place.
There's a place, so just butchers, there's a place called Ibokushu in Lekki.
Okay.
Many years ago was a serious bush. Now to get a land in that area now you need nothing less than 70 to 80 million naira to get.
Can you imagine?
That's how it is everywhere. Thank you so much. Everyone on, we are getting free lectures. You didn't have to pay for it. I must say thank you to Doctor for giving us this masterclass free of
free masterclass.
Free masterclass on investment free of charge. I'm going to give room to a few questions from the comment section, just one or two, if you are there. Now, we've spoken about people that don't have so much, like people, students, younger people. Now, let's talk about the very established people, and the kind of business that they do. So what most people do, you've spoken about land banking, and a lot of people don't understand, especially rich people. So people feel like when you buy a house, you get bricklayers to build, do foundation, it will be cheaper, and then you rent, and then you realize that house that you have bought for 80 million, because you are trying to do Baba Ijebu, you end up building for 120 or more. You understand? And then when you now finish building, you now have to rent it out. And then renting it out also is probably takes about 10 years or more, depending on the environment, to make back your capital. You understand? So you realize that people make a lot of money and they feel that, you know, investment is when you build houses. You understand? So I want you to shed light on that. Now, we've spoken about people that have 2 million, 3 million, 1 million, they don't have a lot. You understand? So now we're speaking about people that have much and sometimes invest wrongly. You understand? For example, you go to Ikorodu, you build 8 flats, 16 flats. You understand? And all those things. And then you realize that after all the stress of building, you're probably making 250,000 naira per flat. You understand? And so I want you to shed light on that area, sir.
Beautiful question, very beautiful question. So first advice I will give people is that you need to be very, very realistic about your analysis of your financial worth. You know, in Africa, it's easy for people who are supposed to be in the middle class to be called rich, right? And it's an assumption that doesn't make sense. And that's really why many fall into that issue. Because you actually don't have money to really do what we call rental income in the African system. What you should have been doing is to just continue your land banking. Rental income business is a fantastic business, but it comes with certain strategy. Number one, you must do it if you want to get good returns. Do it in where high net worth people live. I'll give you an example. If you build your house in Ikoyi or VI or Banana Island, the caliber of people who even rent it are not the caliber of people who owe you rent.
Yes.
Right? Just because of where it is. So there's no need to be praying and fasting about getting
your tenants to pay money.
for tenants to pay money. So, but what happened is that you are not yet at that financial level where you can afford to buy land in that high area, in those kind of high neighborhood, and build something solid. The quality even of what you are building, right, is solid, that to attract high net worth people living there, okay, and paying you top dollar. You don't have that. But you know, you now go to Abulegba, you build, like you are saying, Ikorodu. There's just no way. They will pray for you, they will believe God for you, they will beg you, they will call family members to beg you when they are owing you rent. So, so my advice to people who are not at that level, for now, but do land banking, but get mentorship. Don't just do it. Many of us, you see, one of the mistakes we make, if I was sharing this with pastor, you know, one of the pastors, top pastors in Port Harcourt, you know, we had lunch together. And, you know, and he was saying to me, he said, Dr. Steve, he said, do you know, I never knew that I needed to have a mentor. I mean, this is a man who pastored almost 10,000 visitor church.
Wow.
You know, so I broke it down for him. I said, this is the mistake all of you made. And I told him one of the top, you know, people you can class as generals in faith. The day the man sat me down and said, you know, Dr. Stephen, teach me how to do business. I thought he was joking because I went with notes. I wanted to be taking notes. I want father in faith, you know. And he said, so, he said, teach me how to do business. I said, I thought it was a joke. So then I said, look, I'm not joking. I said, I was with TD Jakes the other day. And TD Jakes asked me, how many business do you have? And I started quoting scripture. When I said it without pause, like SD anything. TJ look at it and said, what are you talking? What nonsense are you talking? I own 18 businesses. What nonsense are you talking about? He said at that point he realized that even what he was taught was wrong. And that he's now looking for so mistake, and you see members, which is part of why it's as if a lot of Christians are a bit angry nowadays. Because many of us don't realize that your spiritual mentor is not the same as your business mentor. Your business mentor is not the same as your investment mentor. They are different things. My spiritual mentor is to teach me. For example, my spiritual mentor is Bishop Oyedepo. to teach me how to go to heaven and how to live a good life, right? He's not my business mentor, except he's into real estate, right? So for me to do real estate well, I have a grandson, right, who has built a $8 billion worth of real estate. And hey, that one he would tell me, Babima Babe, as far as real estate is concerned, right? However, Grant Cardone is not the same as my investment mentor. My investment mentor is somebody that has turned, 1 million naira to 100 million naira. And the day I have 10 million, I can go and meet him and say, hello, mentor, I have this 10 million. What do I do with it? So many people reach out to me. They are doing hair business. I say, Dr. Stephen, mentor me. I'll be like, I don't understand. I'm not into hair business. I can't be your mentor. But if you say I should be your investment mentor, hey, now you are talking. But you have to clarify. When you just say be my business mentor, I'm not in that line of business. So I can't if you're into real estate and you want me to mentor in real estate, yes, I'm in that line. Okay? So we need to understand the difference. You need to have an investment mentor, you need to have a business mentor, and then you need to have a spiritual mentor, and there are, of course, other types of mentors as well. So for many of us, this is the mistake. We take our pastors as our business mentor, our investment mentor. Meanwhile, even your pastor needs
a mentor,
an investment mentor. Yeah. So some know, some don't know. I mean, right? If I did a video recently reaching out to pastors that I will even do it free. Because I started getting pastors reaching out to me. So I've been pastor, I'm in my 50s, my children are about to go to university. I don't have enough money to send them to private university. Honorarium is not much, salary is not much. I'm like, all these years you have been pastoring with the little profit offering, what have you been doing with it? Did you have an investment mentor, right? It's not now that COVID happened and Lagos, church income dropped by 40%, right? Some other, states dropped by more than 70%, right? Including tithe offering, profit offering, even that they give to pastors. So it's almost like a crisis mode. But the mistake was that these people don't.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this.
And I hope I answered your question. I hope I didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes,
I answered. Okay.
Yes, you did. In fact, you answered more than it. Someone said my life just changed. So it's very important for everybody listening. I'm going to take one or two questions before we allow Doctor go. It's almost 1 hour since we started already. And I'm sure Doctor is very busy, but he has time for us.
Yes, I have another meeting for
so I'll take a question or two from the comment section. We have a lot of people online. So if you have a question, please type so I can, so that Doctor can take it for us. Lex 10 TV, I see you. Deep Insights. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, I have one more question. Talking about investments. What else can one invest into?
What else can one?
Two people are asking questions. Is it good to borrow to invest? Someone said, Doctor, look at these questions. Okay, the questions are coming in and they are actually going. So let me see the ones that I can take. Someone asked, Doctor, sir, is it good to borrow to invest? Bamboye Yetunde. Yes, G-Text is Doctor's property company. I'm going to post details so you can follow them for more information. Yeah. So some questions are very funny. Some questions are
okay. Should I answer the one you've asked?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So is it good to borrow to invest? The answer is yes or no, right? So it depends on what are you investing in.
Okay.
And that's very important. Also, it depends on, are you borrowing for commercial, is it a business or is personal investment? So for example, I want to buy, 2 plots of land for myself and my family somewhere. To go and say I'm borrowing money might not be the wise idea. But if it's a company like GTEx Homes, for example, GTEx Homes needs to borrow money to buy more land. We have mastered the art of buying land, developing it, selling it. The whole 9 yard of a structured business that you can guarantee when you return people's money back. But when you have something that there's no structure around it, if you end up borrowing money, you struggle to pay back, that becomes a major issue. And it also depends on who are you even borrowing this money from. For example, GTEx does not owe any commercial bank, home or
Wow.
abroad, with all our assets.
We can't just let that
Yes.
pass. GTEx does not owe any commercial bank. That's actually very commendable.
Yes.
And that's major.
We don't owe any bank, home or abroad. But you won't necessarily say we don't borrow, because there are people who invest their money with us and for return. So that's some form of loan of some sort. But it's done as a business. Personally, for example, I owe no man, dead or alive, and I built my life that way. And I'm happy that way. I sleep like a baby, even, and that my company also does not owe. If you disturb me too much, you have access to my WhatsApp, you disturb me too much, I block you, because I'm not owing nobody. So, and I love that peace of mind.
Yes.
And I think everybody needs that. So I won't, it's a yes or no answer. I'm not just going to say no, don't borrow, right? It's a yes or no. But I will advise, get a mentor. I think the biggest problem, one of the things we do today, for all of you who are trying to get guidance, I will link you up with our wealth advisors. I charge, to coach. I have my one-on-one coaching program is $20,000. We have a group coaching program for $5,000. Then we have the Steve Akintayo University. That one is $47 every month. There are a lot of content from Robert Kiyosaki.
I'm getting all this for free. Wow, thank you so much, Doctor.
I'm not saying you are getting it for free. Don't put me to trouble.
No. I'm saying that what we are having on life now.
Yes. Because these are what we teach.
No, I'm not going to do that. I won't do that. I'm saying what we are doing now on live. We are on Instagram Live, broadcasting for free.
This is what people pay for. Yes, they pay for one-on-one coaching. They pay for it. It's $20,000. Group coaching is $5,000. Then the university is $47 every month. You can join. There's, aside my own content, Robert Kiyosaki content is there. Les Brown content is there. Grant Cardone, John Maxwell, Brian Tracy, all these top guys, their content is on that university.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All you've shared with us.